Yep, no worries.
Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bayswater Oval for the 2005 Eastern Football League Division 1 Reserves Grand Final to be played out today between East Burwood and East Ringwood. East Burwood finished the season in top spot with 17 wins and only the 1 defeat. East Ringwood finished the year in third spot, 11 wins, 6 defeats and a draw. During the home and away season, these two teams met twice. In round 6, it was East Burwood by 66 points, and in round 15, it was East Burwood once again, this time by 28 points. East Burwood progressed through to the grand final with a second semi-final victory over Vermont by 28, while East Ringwood made it to the grand final, defeating Donvale in the first semi-final by 7 points, then Vermont last week by 118 points. Best of luck to both East Burwood and East Ringwood in today's grand final. Our officiating umpires today: in the field, David Scollery and Jason Herman. On the boundary, Alex Geminis and Ben McDonald. In the goals, Brent Hodges and Peter Devison. And the emergency umpire for today's game is Craig Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please be upstanding for the Australian National Anthem?
Welcome to Bayswater Oval for the Division 1 Reserves, a grand final for season 2005 being played out between East Ringwood and East Burwood today. When these two sides met during the home and away season in round 6, it was East Burwood recording a 66-point victory in round 6, and in round 15 East Burwood emerging victorious once more, a 28-point victory. Joining myself, James Willoughby, in the commentators box for this afternoon's Reserves Grand Final is Gavin Casey. Good afternoon, Gavin, and we're looking forward to a very good grand final.
Good afternoon, James, but it has been raining in the morning and it looks like it still is raining, so it's not the best conditions for a grand final, but it will be really tough and hard in the opening moments, and it will be on the deck a lot today, you'd think.
Yes, it would be. You mentioned the rain absolutely bucketing down in the previous game. Very wet underfoot, Bayswater Oval is, and players slipping and sliding around everywhere. A lot of experience in, especially the East Burwood side. They do have a few experienced players in their side, and East Ringwood more a young kid side, but there is a couple of old campaigners playing it for the Roos this afternoon. So we're just about to get underway for this first term. Quickly, Gavin, your early prediction.
Well, I think East Burwood have got a lot of senior experience from this year alone, so that being the case, they probably will have the numbers today.
I'm going to go for East Burwood as well. I think some of their players, especially Ben Wise and James Ivory, to stand up this afternoon. But we're going to start proceedings here at Bayswater Oval for the Division 1 Reserves Grand Final for season 2005. Working it forward at East Burwood, but picking it up for East Ringwood is Rosendale. Ball in tight at half forward. Get used to seeing stoppages because you're going to see plenty of them in the match. And we'll have a ball up at centre half forward. We've played 30 seconds opening term. The umpires this afternoon, we'll get to them in a tick as play resumes. Ball up at centre half forward. Going through was Wise for East Ringwood. Kick around the body for the Rams is Ryan Clark. Long into attack. And I think there's an early mark taken by Reece Dahl. So Dahl has taken a mark in the forward line early on, and this would give East Burwood a perfect start. Goals are very hard to come by today on a wet day. I think we will see more goals than we did in the reserves when it was, in the Colts when it was 6 goals to 2, but they're hard to come by. This would be a beautiful start for the Rams. So Reece Dahl coming in. He'll kick from around 20 metres out. Tough angle, but if he kicks it well, he should kick the goal. We'll wait for the verdict, and he's kicked it out on the full. Well, that's a pretty poor kick, Gav. I thought he would have made a better fist of that.
Well, with a wet ball already, it's been on the deck a few little times now already, and the ball's probably soaking wet. So you're really going to have to place the ball very carefully on the boot. So the Roos have the chance to clear from back pocket. They're going to come out the opposite side from the throw-in, and it's not in position here for the Roos, and East Burwood have another chance. Hand pass just slips away. And in tight, the Kangaroos just finally might clear, and they get the kick out wide. Pegram underneath it takes the mark on centre wing. And he's slowing down, looking for options. Won't be a day for markers, but he puts it up to centre forward, hoping for Brown to come over the top. He couldn't take the mark. Now the ball's on the ground. A free kick's been plucked out for East Burwood, so getting your body over the ball will be what the umpires are looking for, and they'll pay anyone who gets in there first. Falls into the hands of Farrell. Farrell's kick smothered, goes around the corner close to the boundary line. It's kept in by the Roos very cleverly and well picked up again. Oh, just outside, and disappointment there for Bede, who did some good work there, but it just trickled over when he hand passed in front of himself.
The field umpires today, David Scollery wearing number 47 and Jason Herman 8. Boundary, Alex Gimenez and Ben McDonald in the goals. Peter Devison and Brent Hodges, and the emergency umpire Craig Johnson for this afternoon. And we hope they do a wonderful job officiating the match this afternoon. The throw-in came in on centre wing, ball in congestion, just working it forward were the Rams. Applying some strong early pressure. Kick from Casey Ratcliffe, went forward. Good strong tackle applied. Just shrugging it was the East Burwood defender, but a good second effort from Ratcliffe. Into the middle, Ivory, who's played some football with Box Hill this year, gave the hand pass off to Robert Ward. It's in tight in the middle. Big pack of players around the football. McDowell's in there for the Roos, and we're going to have a bounce in the middle of Bayswater Oval. We've played 3 minutes in the opening term.
Well, you see it's just slipping out of players' grasps already, and even an in-tight hand pass, it's very hard to keep a hold of. Knocked down for Cooper, gets his kick on the left foot to the boundary line and out of bounds. 55 metres out from the Kangaroos' goals. East Ringwood travelling to the right of screen. And I don't think there's any wind here, James, but it's raining so heavily it probably won't help kicks anyway.
Yes, well, the rain looks like it's momentarily stopped, but be assured the ground is very slippery underfoot, so we're not going to have premium conditions for football this afternoon.
So we're going to boundary throw in. It's just a stop in the play. I think the boundary umpire is giving it a good wipe down. Oh, actually, there's a change blood rule. With coming off was Wrigley. Caleb Wrigley came off for the blood rule, replaced by Brett Masters for East Burwood. Masters has slipped all by himself at centre forward, but the ball's at the other end here for the Kangaroos at half forward. They win the tap. Cooper's thereabouts, tries to get a hand pass to an open teammate in Eslick. Kicks doesn't go too far, and we're yet to get an open field of play. The quick hand pass fired out by Sear. East Burwood's been wrapped up. That was Cripps, and the ball's tied in the boundary with the last boundary throw in, and here's a chance for the Kangaroos. Spearing a pass into full forward. The mark couldn't be taken. It's fallen to ground. Spinning onto his left and having a flying shot to the left was a Kangaroo in Sear. And Sear misses to the left, and that's the first score of this Division 1 Reserves Grand Final. East Ringwood 1 behind, East Burwood yet to score, and we've played 5 minutes.
The Rams to bring the ball out of defence. They trail by a point early stages of this first term. Sun shining here at Bayswater Oval, and it's a rare occurrence so far. The rain pouring down quite heavily. The Rams bring it out of defence through Robert Ward. Goes to centre half back. Contesting there was Sabo for the Rams. Ball spilled to ground level. Umpire letting play go, which is a good thing because there'll be plenty of stoppages this afternoon. Ratcliffe was in and under for the Rams. The Roos got it forward, but it went out of bounds on the forward flank, 50 metres around from the left behind post. East Ringwood in attack early, and they hold a slender 1 point lead. Ball to be tossed back in by the umpire, just drawing the ball up again out on that far side. Throw in, winning the ruck contest was Pegram for the Roos. Ivory was there, but he was beaten to the football. For the Rams, picking up the ball was Howe. And the umpire spotted out a free kick, and it's going to go the way of East Burwood. And James Ivory will be to take the free kick, who's wearing 30 this afternoon. Played some senior football, played a great game in the first semi-final between Donvale and East Burwood, so it's a luxury for the Rams to have him back in the twos playing the grand final. And his kick is absolutely perfect, and he finds Ben Wise, another player who played in that final. It was actually Timothy Mackay who took the mark out on centre wing. He goes long. His target was Masters, who came onto the field replacing Wrigley for the blood rule earlier. Goes out of bounds on centre wing. 1 point lead to East Ringwood. 6.5 minutes gone first term.
Well, I hope you've had your carrots, James, because if the ball continues to be on that other side, we're going to struggle for sight here. And it's on the outer wing side. Pegram versus Zachariason. And from the tap, East Burwood win it, but it goes forward 5 metres and out of bounds again for another boundary throw in, and that was Bryce Radcliffe coming from over the front and knocking it further on, an extra 10 metres. So we're about, well, 2 to 3 kicks really, because the kicks aren't going very far today, and it's a real rush it on your boot and get it forward game at the moment. Pegram has 2 punches at it, knocks it down, but Radcliffe's there. His hand pass was smothered, and in there for help was Tim Howe, but Radcliffe got taken over the shoulder, and again putting your body in and getting first to the ball will be awarded by the umpires. So Casey Radcliffe picks up the ball, and he's on the centre wing here. He's looking for options. Might have to just put it up high at centre half forward. He goes into that direction. Half forward coming over the top there was Noonan for the Kangaroos. It slips out the back, and a flying shot from East Burwood by Robert Ward misses to the right, and scores are now level at 1 point apiece. 7.5 minutes gone in this Division 1 Reserves Grand Final.
So the Roos to bring it out of defence. Just a few number changes that we've got to contend with at the moment, and we'll attempt to sort them out at quarter time. A few East Burwood players not wearing the numbers that they were listed as on our team sheet, but it doesn't matter about that. We'll get over that one as James will bring it out of defence for the Roos. We have played 8.25 minutes into this first quarter here at Bayswater Oval for the Division 1 Reserves Grand Final. Thumping kick from James out to the half-back flank. The Roos have the numbers, but East Burwood work it forward. Ratcliffe's running in. Great soccer off the ground by Shane Hansen. He gets it long. That's a beautiful kick. That's gone about 45 metres. Wise is leading the chase. He's beaten, and he applies a strong tackle to Wise. Ball out on boundary side. Here come the Roos. It is Daniel Bede sprinting with the ball, and he finds his teammate in Stuart McDowell with a good kick. Good work from Bede, but McDowell's kick is poor and intercepted by Ryan Clark. So they had the momentum going forward, but Clark doing enough to intercept the kick, and he will kick along to the middle of the ground where it's another turnover, and there was a lot of them in the earlier game, and we'll see a few of them this afternoon. Stuart McDowell taking the mark, but error-riddled games and stoppage-infested games will be on the agenda at Bayswater today. Taking the mark at half forward is Andrew Brown. He quickly played on, kicked a grubber kick into the forward line. Hand pass went out to Michael Thompson, and he snaps and he goals. Great goal for the Roos. And I think it might have been Tim Francis or Thompson there, not 100% sure. It's either 25 or 52. It's 25, Tim Francis, a marvellous snap goal over his right shoulder. And we get the first goal of the game, Gavin, and it's good to see 9.5 minutes into the first term. In the earlier game, we had a lull of about a quarter and 10 minutes without a goal. So good to see we've got an early goal here.
Well, I think it's just playing to the basics. Play at the front and square, knowing that the ball's going to drop short or at least come off hands, and he was in the right position for a rover, front and square. Just before, Kangaroos probably learnt their lesson, just trying to finesse centering the ball. You just got to, in these conditions, just go long and direct and to a place where you know your man will be, and just try to work for the next contest. And the ball's been socketed off the ground from the centre. No clear clearance until now, and East Burwood get the flying kick to half forward. Going for it was Ivory, couldn't take the mark. And it's close to the line. Casey Radcliffe, again prominent, gets his hand pass out. And the quick kick into the forward line, and that's a great juggling mark by Shane Hansen. Well, I thought it was a mark not paid. He had enough of it in these conditions, you'd think. And the ball is now in a pack situation, and the umpire will eventually make a decision and ball it up.
Fair call there. I thought Shane Hansen also did enough to take the mark and was probably unlucky not to be rewarded by David Scollery with the mark.
Well, even in dry conditions, that probably was a mark. And the quick kick out for East Ringwood is at half back, and a chance for them to scoot off here. The Kangaroos go to centre forward, and it's fallen to ground. East Burwood have got the numbers. In there is Cooper for the Kangaroos, and again it's under a pack of players. Eventually it will come clear, or not. Still under feet, and the umpire has to pay a free kick. And East Burwood on the run. There's Radcliffe again. In there is Galino, but it's repelled here, and now it's Noonan to his teammate in Pegram. Kick off the ground to centre half forward. First on feet is Cripps. In a bit of traffic, gets his kick out. Couldn't take the mark there, was Bede. The ball falls to ground. Kangaroos and the Rams are really bullocking in there. Zachariason was there, heavily met. Goes for the fist, Zachariason, and a chance opens up here on the wing. Just can't bend down and pick it up. There was Wrigley. But Casey Radcliffe has got a number of kicks, but he slipped as he did kick. Now the ball's in their forward 50. That was Ben Wise at playing centre forward, and the quick kick out there by Birch to the back line, and it's out of bounds. And that was a flurry of kicks and hand passes, and the ball just had to be pushed forward. And they're just happy to see the line, the Kangaroos in the end, 55 metres out from the East Burwood goals. And we've travelled 12 minutes in this first quarter.
Hasn't Casey Ratliff made a great start to the game?
Well, he probably loves it so low to the ground, doesn't he? And he's seeing a lot of it as the Kangaroos repel.
Long kick forward, Kangaroos trying to get it into attack. They do currently hold the lead. It's Cooper at half forward. Now the ball spills to Andrew Brown. Hand pass over the top. It's McDowell. He's had a bit of it early. Centering kick. Can he find his target in Francis? He can't. The goal kicker in Francis. Going back in defence is Ivory. Under pressure and in trouble here, East Burwood. They're stuffing around with the football. They need to get it out, otherwise they will be paying the ultimate price. Ball in tight, and well, Gavin, I thought East Burwood probably should have got rid of that. They were just trying to be a bit too cute in the back line. Well,
there was even a trying to get a free kick from the umpire there, feigning of over the shoulder. But in these conditions, you just got to do the hard things. Get your nose over it. A quick kick off the ground. It looks like it's a goal, and that's a beautiful quick thinking there from Eslick. From the from the ball up, he was quick first to react, and on the feet, he just put his boot on the ball and it flied through the goals for their second. East Ringwood move on to 2-1-13, leading East Burwood 1 behind. 13 and a half minutes gone in this first term of the Division 1 Reserves Grand Final.
Great goal there from Eslick. He really an opportunistic goal. I know I've mentioned the earlier game a few times, but I think it serves a good pattern for what's going to happen this afternoon. And there was a couple of soccer goals scored by East Burwood in that last quarter, so you've got to be good on your feet, and Eslick was. Ball up in the middle of Bayswater Oval, crashing through for the Roos was Fry. He got the hand pass away. Here come them going into attack. They're dominating. Ivory, though, across half-back's been very good, taken high by Andrew Brown, and the umpire agreed with that. Ivory will take the free kick, and he's a tough character. He'll get up and take the kick. Played some football with Box Hill and the seniors in East Burwood this year, as already mentioned before, and he's a very talented footballer and has a good future ahead of him. As he goes short, and the kick probably wasn't at its best. McDowell was there for the Roos. Crashing over the top and knocking it forward was Fry. There's Cooper also there for the Kangaroos. They've made a great start, just applying a lot of pressure. Strong tackle on Rosendale, wasn't rewarded. And we'll have a ball up at centre half forward for East Ringwood. Going into attack, they've been very good early. They lead 2-1-13 over East Burwood. 1 point. Goal kickers Tim Francis and Andrew Eslick so far.
And the taps one down to Eslick, who's kicked a goal, gets a quick kick forward. But East Burwood have got the runners here. And oh, that's a nice one-handed pickup. And the quick kick around the corner there from Tim Howe. And the ball now goes to half back. Cripps there, well, he wanted a hand pass, thought better of it, and his quick kick was good. It found Casey Radcliffe. He's got Tim Howe bursting to centre forward, but he goes in the direction and taken by Wise. Wise gets it over to Howe, and his grubber stops in the wet, and Wrigley picks it up, gives it to Howe. Howe, a quick flying right shot across the face of goals, and that was on the last line. It was Hansen just touching it over the line, and it's out of bounds, just near the behind post. That was good play from Howe, all the way from back pocket, did a lot of running to forward pocket, but just couldn't get the goal. Would have been a great individual effort.
Yes, you're spot on, hit the nail on the head. That would have been a fantastic goal. He sprinted the whole length of the field there and was unrewarded for his efforts. Throw in, Wise contest, doing a lot of the bullocking work across half forward for the Rams. Rouge just trying to clear it. Poor kick out. Ratcliffe has the chance to steady 30 metres out. He shanks it across the face, and in the end it is out on the full. Free kick to East Ringwood in the back pocket, and Ratcliffe, who's already had a snack of the ball, probably would have liked to make better opportunity of that. James Willoughby and Gavin Casey bringing you all the action. It's actually a free kick on the boundary for East Burwood, and Wise, no, not Wise, well, East Burwood have kicked a goal. We'll just look for the player there, swinging around onto his left foot. It was number 36 in Adrian Gelino, so must have been something off the ball there, Gavin, because Ratcliffe did seem to kick it out on the full.
Well, I'm not sure if the mark was dropped onto the defender's boot and by accident he kicked it out on the full. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, that could have been right too, because there was a player out there running there, so that's the conclusion we've come to. A good goal for Adrian Gelino, and it's a 6-point margin in East Ringwood's favour.
So that's a good goal for East Burwood. They've had a lot of foray forward, and they've deserved the goal, and it keeps them within touch. And the quick kick there by Zabo, and he's Casey Radcliffe again taking the mark.
Jeez, he's been good.
I don't know why I hesitated. I've seen so much of him already. And Casey Radcliffe, well, I don't think he's having a set shot, but he's really surveying the options further afield. He might go short. He's got a couple of options, but he goes further afield. Wise, but in close there was Migliore. Drops the mark. There's Wise again. Can't get a clear possession, and East Ringwood try to clear it out. It's at half back, close to the boundary. It's in tight, and the umpires pulled a free kick out. First to the ball was the Rams players, and over the shoulder it went. As Pegram picks up the ball, kick it to the wing. It's been taken by Howe. Howe gets onto his left. His quick kick is marked, is it? A tumbling effort there by the Rams was not rewarded. Didn't hold on to it, but they will get a free kick eventually for over the shoulder. They're just sliding in there. Ryan Clark just sliding in there and copping it over the shoulder. And I think East Burwood have just woken up to the fact that if they do get to the ball first, they'll have every opportunity to get a free kick. And they are sliding in. They're jumping on the ball. They're not going to be pinged for holding the ball for jumping on it today, because you can't blame a player for not being on his feet.
Exactly. Good to see a free-flowing game so far as well.
So Ryan Clark from about 50, it'll be a tough shot. We've seen all kicks slide off the boot. It goes to about 15 out in a dangerous position for East Ringwood, and they eventually do wrap it up when it did come to ground. So that was good work by the Kangaroos. They were alert to the dangers, and we'll have a ball up with umpire David Scollery officiating. And eventually we'll get the ball back, and the ball up. Only 20 metres out from the Rams goal. They're looking to tie it up. Can't get a clear possession, but again, getting first use of it, they get rewarded with a free kick for over the shoulder. And again, it's Ryan Clark, who this time will be having a shot from only 20 metres out.
He's really getting in and under, and he's rewarding the free. He's getting rewarded with the free kicks. He's going at the ball hard, and the umpires are rewarding that, which is good to see. Doing a very good job so far. David Scollery and Jason Herman, the field umpires for this afternoon.
So Ryan Clark, who's amassing kicks just like Casey Radcliffe, looks to tie the scoring up here early in the second quarter, and that was a bit of a shocker. And we've just nearly time on, and it's still in actually. It didn't go out, so East Ringwood having to clear through Johnston. And Johnston gets it to the half-back line and seen out there by Ivory. Just getting in front of his opponent, and he's happy to keep it in the area. Well, the boundary throw in about 55 from the Rams goal.
So East Ringwood up by 1 goal here ahead of the East Burwood Rams. We have played 19 3/4 minutes in this first term here at Bayswater Oval. Crowd starting to build up in anticipation for the big Division 1 Grand Final this afternoon. In the meantime, East Ringwood go forward. Long kick, and it's intercepted by McKay, taking a good mark across half back. Goes long to centre half forward. Wise did well, got his man out of the way, and then nearly took the mark. Was hit hard and got up again and pushed it to the advantage of his teammate. And that is the end of the first quarter, so not much time on there, Gavin.
Well, are we paying time on? That's about 20 minutes, 20 seconds, that quarter.
Yes, you're exactly right. East Ringwood go into the break, 6 points in front, 2-1-13 over East Burwood, 1-1-7. The goal kickers for East Ringwood, Andrew Eslick and Tim Francis, and Adrian Galino with the only goal for East Burwood. Welcome back to Bayswater Oval for the second term of the Division 1 Reserves Grand Final for season 2005. Doing battle at a bathed in sunshine Bayswater Oval at the moment are East Burwood and East Ringwood, and the Kangaroos hold a 1-goal lead at the first change, 2-1-13 over East Burwood, 1-1-7. James Willoughby and Gavin Casey bringing you all the action from Bayswater Oval in this Division 1 2005 Reserves Grand Final. Both sides vied out for the premiership. The goal kickers in that first quarter, East Ringwood, we had Tim Francis and Andrew Eslick kick goals, and for East Burwood, Adrian Galino scored their only goal. To start us off for the second term, Gavin Casey, Division 1 Reserves Grand Final 2005.
So here we are at the start of the second term. And the ball straight down on the ground, and quick kick by Michael Thomas, but picked up by Sabo. He doesn't go too far with it. And now the Kangaroos get in position to knock it forward, and it's going close to the boundary line here at half forward. Eventually is picked, well, it wasn't picked up, and the ball just does trickle out the line. And the East Burwood players see it over the line at half back. And a quick kick off the ground by Thompson when the ruck man just tapped it straight to the ground, and eventually got to half forward, so without much proper movement as we expect. But the conditions are so wet that it's just going to be quick kicks and some hard running here as they just throw it on the boot. Casey Radcliffe kicks it to centre half forward. Ben Wise got onto the ball, but it eventually being kicked out to centre half forward, but chopped off by the East Ringwood team. They go straight through the square to centre half forward. Over the top comes Cooper, but he comes over the top of an opponent into the back of his opponent, and the Rams pick it up at half back. So the Rams go through the wing position, looking for opportunities. There's Dahl, but beaten to it by a couple of Kangaroos who dive on the ball. They tap it out, and it comes to the boundary, near the boundary on the wing. And the ball's not going too far, and just a quick kick, not marked, but coming over was Wise with a good punch, and gets the ball to the ground. So it's a 50-50 contest. It's right under heaps of feet here, as just a quick kick comes out from Cosson, and Bo Cosson's kick goes out to the bounds, and we'll have a boundary throw in at the half forward line for East Burwood. So we've played 2 minutes in this second term. Scores haven't changed since quarter time. It's East Burwood 1-1 to East Ringwood 2-1. Getting onto the ball is Ivory from the wing. Tries to keep it in. Can't swing onto his left boot, and is just pushed out of bounds, and we'll have a boundary throw in now on centre wing.
So yes, you're right, we'll have the ball tossed in on centre wing. 1-goal lead to East Ringwood over East Burwood. As the umpire will just toss it back in now on centre wing. Doing battle in the ruck and winning it was Pegram with a huge thump forward. Silantonis led the pack. Ivory was also there. And the ball goes out of bounds with East Ringwood gaining about 20 metres there. Good punch from Jason Pegram, who's had a very good first quarter in the ruck, and he'll be looking to maintain that record in the second, third and fourth quarters. So we're going to have another ball in. This time more towards the forward flank of East Ringwood. Again, Pegram won the tap though. This time it was sharked by East Burwood, and seeing it over the boundary line is Wayne Cripps for the Rams. 1-goal lead to East Ringwood. We have played 3 minutes into the second quarter. And the crowd's starting to build up, which is good news. There will be a big crowd on hand to see Vermont take on Donvale later on this afternoon in the Division 1 Seniors Grand Final. Ball thrown back in. Pegram once more winning the tap, just dominating in the ruck. Ball spilt to ground level. East Burwood players appealing for holding the ball. Ball just came out though late at the end. Winning the football in there was Dahl. Cripps is also in there, socket away by Cooper along the boundary line. And East Ringwood gain another 30 or 40 metres. And it's actually out on the full, so Cooper's soccer went out on the full, and there's going to be a free kick going to East Burwood off the half-back flank. They go short, poor kick, but in the end it's doing well to redeem. His teammate is Gordon Laurie there for the Rams. Ball spilt to ground level, and it just goes over the boundary line once more, and it's something that we've become familiar with in the first quarter and a bit, Gavin.
Yeah, it's all about getting touch. It's resembling a rugby game here. And we don't have line-outs, but we have boundary throw-ins here. We've got plenty of them. Boundary umpire getting full use of his arms, gives it a big swing. There's Pegram knocking it down, and again, we're not going to go too far, are we? As everyone just jumps on the ball, and the umpire has to come in and split them up.
It's been pretty good, Pegram, hasn't he?
He has. He's using his body well, in which in these conditions, that's the basics you've got to have. Good body use, get in front first. Sliding in there was Ward. You can't keep it in. And it's just like the old junior days where you're happy to get wet in the mud, but I think there's more on the line now. But the slide in, we haven't seen that much during the year, the getting soaking wet and just getting the basics, just sliding in, getting your body over the ball, and then just flopping it on the boot if you can. And they can't at the moment because every time someone takes possession, they're getting wrapped up. The umpire again has to do a throw in. It's near East Ringwood's goal. Eventually, I don't know how, but they've got it forward, and they're 55 metres out from the goal, and you guessed it, another boundary throw in. So we've played about 5.5 minutes, and the script of this quarter has been quick kick, boundary throw in, quick kick, boundary throw in. It doesn't. There's no way of saying who's winning at the moment this quarter because the ball goes back and forth with no particular purpose at the moment. The taps one down by Pegram, and the umpire, well, eventually he's going to blow the whistle and give a free kick just to split this up, because every time the boundary a throw in happens or ball up happens, it goes straight to the ground. Tap one down again. Again, there's a massive bodies on the ball, and the umpire blows his whistle again. And we'll just see who's last getting up. It's always a good indicator who's getting in. Thompson for the Kangaroos was one of them, and Migliore for East Burwood, just putting their body on the line. Again, it's under feet. Will it come out? No, it won't, because there's 10 players playing stacks on. And again, we're ticking over 6.5 minutes. We're on centre wing. Umpire throws it up. Knocked down there by Dahl, wins the tap. East Burwood looking to go forward for Casey Radcliffe. He goes backwards with a hand pass. Quick kick around the corner, and it's well marked by Wrigley. He quickly gets up on his feet. Now puts it on his right. Going to the half forward. Howell wanted to rove the ball. Teammate in good position is Migliore, and his flying kick just misses to the left, and finally we have a shot. And it's a behind to East Burwood. They are 1-2-8, trail East Ringwood 2-1-13. 7 minutes gone in the second term of the Division 1 Reserves Grand Final.
You say finally we have a shot, finally we have an inside 50. Do you think a ball has travelled inside 50 in the first 7 minutes? I think it was, can't exactly, not 100% say for sure, but there was ball stuck on the wing the whole time. Anyway, back in proceedings with the football was Fleming for East Burwood. Wise is there, done some good work across half forward. Ivory's kick well affected, smother by Jason Pegram, and the ball sails out of bounds. Cooper seeing it over for East Ringwood, hoping for the game just to start to take a bit more high tempo and build up the crowds here, and the crowd just hoping for a few more goals.
I know that time's passed, but Fleming just trying to slip on his right foot. You just got to go back and, as we say, just play wet weather football, and you can't treat it like a dry weather. This fancy footwork and skills are not going to work today.
You're exactly right. Another shot from Casey Ratcliffe was just reminding us how bad the wet weather was. There's a fantastic sliding mark taken there by Andrew Brown, and a very good effort from the big man just to slide through the mud patch that is the middle of Bayswater Oval. His kick, though, was low percentage, and he smacked it straight into the man on the mark in Timothy Mackay. Thompson has the football. We'll have a ball up at centre half forward. And yeah, Thompson getting in and under at the bottom of the packs there. So not a smart kick. Players just not thinking smart. Robert Ward, the slowest to get up out of that pack. Ball spills. And in and under we have yet another pack and yet another ball up. And I've got used to saying that. We're going to have a ball up, and I'm sure you'll be hearing it a few more times, but it's a grand final, and I'm sure it's going to start to take a bit more of a higher tempo in the second half as the Roos go forward. The target is Brown. He couldn't quite take the mark after his magnificent sliding effort in the middle before. We're going to have a ball up 40 metres out from the Kangaroos' goal. We have played 9 minutes in this second quarter. Ball up. Dahl won it uncontested, but he just dropped the football. Getting a good kick away was Bede. There's a chance for the Roos. Laurie doing well in defence. And it's a poor kick, though. And playing on quickly is Eslick. He hoiks it round the shoulder, as I just get that word out. And he's missed. And Gavin, I really think he should have gone back and had a shot. One, he had a teammate right next to him who he could have easily hand passed to. But, or just gone back and had a shot, but he tried to throw it on the boot and he's kicked a point.
Well, he did try to claim it, but the umpire had none of that. He said, no, you're going to have to play on. So maybe you were right with the hand pass option. But again, he was probably thinking, just slap it on the boot and hope for the best, because that's the modus operandi today. And the kick out doesn't go too far, so the Kangaroos have another shot at goal, just because they can't find targets with clean skills in this wet weather, as the score now moves on to East Ringwood 2-3-15, leading East Burwood 1-2-8. That's 2 behinds to 1 behind this quarter, and we've played 10 minutes in the second quarter of the Reserves Division 1 Grand Final. So East Burwood, you're not going to really be able to stab a pass in. You just got to go to position and hope like a man here is underneath it to take the mark, and that's Jason May. So that was better percentages. May was standing by himself for a little while, so he had time to stand and take the mark. Chipping in front, that's a good overhead mark by Martin. Oh, sorry, Martin Fleming, I should say. I'll say his full name now. Martin Fleming takes the mark, and overhead, that's the first today, I'd reckon. His kick goes to the wing, a fly over the top, and that's going to have to be penalised. And we talk about the percentages. There is no percentages from Cosson just flying over the top, because he was nowhere near it, and he was just going to give a free kick away. And Gary Birch takes the kick, and for the first time of the day, I reckon the ball's on this side of the ground. There's Eslick picking up the ball, 50. He's got time to steady and look for a player, and he has hit him, but also he got hit as he was trying to take the mark, and it couldn't take the mark there for East Ringwood. Just going to see who that was, because it was a courageous effort there by the East Ringwood player in McDowell, but he just couldn't take as he was going to take the mark on the chest, got a hit. And eventually it did go for a score for East Ringwood. They move on to 2-4-16 to East Burwood 1-2-8. And we've travelled nearly 12 minutes in this second term of the Reserves Division 1 Grand Final.
East Burwood bringing it out of defence through Robert Ward, and his kick was good and found Matthew Migliore on the half-back line. His kick goes long, but Cooper intercepting, and he took a strong mark, juggling it on the second attempt. He's got Birch in the middle. Decides to ignore that and just go longer. And then in the end he found Noonan. Cooper got it back, just stuffing around with the football now, the Roos. And umpire spotted out a free kick, and it is going to go the way of East Ringwood. To the Bronx cheers of the crowd in front of us. And you're right, the play has been stuck on that other side of the ground. And it looks like it's going to be Gary Birch to take the free kick. So Birch, or is it Cooper? We'll just have to have a look. I think it might be actually Chris Cooper. So he has the ball. He's pulling his socks up. He'd be ambitious to have a goal attempt from him.
Well, here's the explanation. Stephen Fry's coming off for Bloodwall.
And so is his East Burwood opponent.
Oh, well, yeah, it might be the East Burwood guy, number 3, Gordon Laurie, and not Fry just having the opportunity to have a rest. So it was Gordon Laurie having blood just around his mouth. And he's had a rough time this year. He got knocked out in a late round game against Croydon. where he had to be taken to hospital, but it's great to see that he can play in a grand final.
Ivory winning the ball on half-back. Long kick to Wise, who's the target. Ratcliffe leads the chase for the ball. Beautiful one-handed pick-up across half-forward. Ball spilt to ground. He did well to keep it alive. Wise, who's just done the crash and bash work for them today, did it again. Winning the football was Wrigley for the Rams. Strong pressure from the Roos. Migliore's kick over the shoulder. Looking for Ratcliffe, who's already had it about 15 times, I'd say, so far this match. Ball spills forward. East Burwood a chance to get a goal. Ratcliffe again with the football, and he's at the bottom of the pack. And we will have a ball up 50 metres out from the East Burwood goal. They trail by 8 points. East Ringwood 2 goals for 16. Lead East Burwood 1-8. We've played 13 3/4 minutes into this second quarter.
And the punch was one down by the Kangaroos. Just got it in defensive wise. And 40 metres out from the Rams' goal here. So next goal for them is important because this 8-point lead is in the conditions. It's 16-8, nearly 2 quarters played. So it's a big lead, 8 points. And again, it's close in on the ground. We'll see if we can get a kick out here. Nice hand pass fed out, but Kangaroos have turned it over. And the Rams just hoping for a mark at centre half forward. Then there was Howe. It falls to the ground and it's picked up by Brown. Brown is moving all across the ground. His kick around the corner has been marked by Ivory. So Ivory from the half forward gets his kick to centre half forward, and it's been marked by a teammate who might be quick to play on. He is. That was Migliore, and his kick finds his teammate in Casey Radcliffe.
Had it on a string.
And he's 50 metres out. I don't think he's having a shot. He's just steadying things down. He's probably going to try to compose himself for one more pass if he can find a lead. But there's plenty of traffic in his way here, so he might just have to put it to the top of the square. He puts it in that direction and even longer, and it's to the line. It is a great shepherd. That is a goal. Ben Wise, oh, well, it was touched on the line. I thought Ben Wise did a good job there. And
he went the torp. It was great to see the torpedo in effect again. And Gary Birch, he nearly slipped over and he was shepherded well out.
But
it
must have been a fingernail.
Yeah, I think he just got a slight deflection on the football. So East Ringwood brought it out quickly out of defence. High kick, chance for the Rams here, and a good strong mark taken by Glenn Bryan at the bottom of the pack with his mop of black hair. Good courage, yes it was. And his kick has gone to the back pocket. So the Roos looking to go forward. A few targets on offer. He decides to go short to Rosendale, who's under pressure. Strong tackle. It was a bad kick. Ratcliffe with the snap around the body goes to the goal square. Over the shoulder was Galino. He's kicked the only goal for the Rams. Ball spills to Ben Wise at the top of the goal square. Under heavy pressure of the Kangaroos. Picking it up for the Roos was Joshua Singh. Gets the hand pass away, but it's a poor kick and only goes as far as Martin Fleming, who could have quickly played on. He decided to go back and steady his options, survey the scene. What's he got option? Zachariason was presenting well, but he ignored him. Martin Fleming, what will he do? His kick probably not going to make the distance from here unless he really gets onto it. He's going to go the torp though. No, it is a drop punt. His run-up looked like it was going to be a torpedo. Birch fisted away, and seeing it over the boundary line is Shane Johnston for East Ringwood. They lead by 7 points in this first quarter. 2-4-16 to 1-3-9, 16 3/4 minutes gone, second term.
We should stop this prediction game because before we said Casey Radcliffe was going to put it to the square, and he nearly got it all the way with a torp. And the ball is about 30 metres out from East Burwood's goal. It's been there for the last few minutes. And it's close to the boundary line again, and happy to see it over there was James. And we're in the back pocket for the Kangaroos, desperately holding on to a 7-point lead coming into half-time. The Rams would love a goal late. And in the ruck is Hansen for the Kangaroos, but the Rams do win it out. Applying a tackle there was Migliore. And the ball not going too far, and we're 20 metres out from the Rams' goal. And umpire Jason Herman is getting in the act of balling it up. And he gives it a high throw. It's up there for a long time. Tap one by Hansen. The ball is just bobbling around underneath legs. And I think the players just stopped playing there. They said, umpire, can you come in and take the ball off us, please? Because it did bobble out there in the end.
He's giving it some high ball ups too.
That's it. And it's eventually been a free kick paid for a Shepherd. And just as the burst was being made by Michael Thompson, he was told to bring it back to his teammate in Hansen.
Brian will give it. Yep, Hansen's got the free kick. Shane Hansen in the back pocket for East Ringwood. What can he manufacture from this? Surveys the scene. He's got Birch on as an option in the back pocket. And very good option too. He ignores it and goes down the guts and finds Aidan Sear. So he's got Birch on now across the back flank. He also has Singh out this far broadcast side. He ignores that and goes to the side where most of the players been. Ratcliffe trying to effect a smother on Brown, but wasn't to be. Good mark from Migliore, driving it long into attack. Chance for the Rams. Wise against 4, brought it to ground. That's what he needed to do. Spilt out to Ryan Clark. His high kick went in the direction of Wise. Chance for Eastbuild, got the numbers. Tim Howe soccers it forward. And it goes through for a minor score margin. Just the 1 goal now. 2 goals for East Ringwood, 1 goal for East Burwood. We have played 19.25 minutes into this second quarter.
And 3 points each the teams have added. They haven't been able to get a goal.
Remember, there's no time on, so we should finish shortly.
Yep, we're in the last minute. And it's at centre half forward for the Rams. They look to get the goal a little tied up at half time. And as I say, at quarter time, East Burwood 1-1-7. They've moved to 1-4. East Ringwood were 2-1. They've moved to 2-4 in this quarter.
No goals this quarter.
And James, you were saying there was going to be hopefully a lot of goals. Well, there hasn't been, and it's the conditions have just made it hard work. And the ball has now been bundled forward by the Kangaroos, and they might have the last shot at goal. Kicking it off the ground, there was the Kangaroos, and there's the siren going. And at half time here in the Division 1 Reserves Grand Final is East Burwood 1-4-10, trailing East Ringwood by a goal 2-4-16.
Welcome to Bayswater Oval, and we are bringing you the third quarter of the Division 1 Reserves Grand Final for season 2005. At half-time, the score see East Ringwood 2-4-16 in front of East Burwood 1-4-10. The goal kickers for the Roos, Eslick and Francis, have one apiece. Gelino has the only goal for East Burwood, and to bring you all the action from the start of the third quarter, Gavin Casey.
And interesting enough, Wise has been moved into the midfield for East Burwood. And he does get a hand in there as East Burwood go forward, but not in with a good kick there by Migliore. So the ball will be pushed out to half-back by the Kangaroo defence. And if you were putting bets on, you win again, it is a boundary throw-in.
Yes, well, if you were putting bets on, you'd be making a bit of money today.
I don't know what the number in, but we're probably going to get past 100.
Wouldn't be too far off. I reckon I'd say we'd be at 40 so far.
So the boundary throw-in there was Zachariason in front, but the ball doesn't go to a clear tap to possession. So again, it goes over the line for a boundary throw-in about 65 metres from East Burwood's goal. They're a goal behind. They were trailed by a goal at quarter time. Both teams added 3 points each in the second term. And early days now, and the ball again is on the deck. Kick forward, and it's at centre forward, putting his head over there, over the ball was May. No clear kick, but here's Wise picking up the ball, tried to go onto his right, hand passes forward to Migliore, and hands it over to Laurie, and Laurie's kick just goes to the right from behind. And so Laurie played in defence in the second quarter, now being moved forward with some bandages on his head. And the score moves on to East Burwood 2-5-17. Sorry, East Ringwood 2-5-17 to East Burwood. I'll start that all again. It's East Ringwood 2-4-16 to East Burwood 1-5-11.
Long kick out from the Roos was marked at the half-back line. The mark taken by Tim Francis, who has kicked one of the Roos 2 goals. Getting it long was Howe for East Burwood, but sliding mark taken by Gary Birch. His hand pass off to his teammate in Johnston was good, but Johnston's kick wasn't good enough to find Shane Hansen, and we're going to have a throw-in on centre wing. We have played 2.5 minutes into the third quarter here at Bayswater Oval. The winner of this game will be crowned the premiers in Division 1 reserves for season 2005. So crowd starting to build up, and despite some wins, Bayswater Oval is bathed in sunshine. Good to see, and conditions are starting to ease up a little bit. Back to the match though. Casey Ratcliffe in and under, dumped with a tackle. He's won a lot of the football, and himself and James Ivory really had a very good first half for the Rams, but they're 5 points down. Not as good as the half from the Roos, who I think had a more consistent effort from everybody involved. As the hand pass came out to Aidan Sear. Kick going towards the boundary line, and we will have a throw in on the wing. 5 point lead, and well, we are getting a fair few throw-ins. If you're at home and you have nothing to do, rewind. Let us know how many ball-ins we've had, and give us a call at the AFL office. Would love to know. Tap one down by East Ringwood. Kick went forward. Wise had it on centre wing though, and he drives it long into attack. Hanson across half back. He's been good so far. Long kick. Is there an opportunity for East Ringwood to get the ball here? There is. They get it forward, and it's a good kick there from Hines for the Roos, and they get about an extra 30 or 40 metres. A good kick for touch, as they would say in rugby, and it's as you've alluded to earlier, it has been similar to a rugby match.
It's a game of inches, and at times that's all the ball moves. We have a boundary throw in on centre wing here, early in the third term, and 3 goals scored. So most of the game has been on that boundary, and that boundary umpire, I hope he's getting it being changed over, because his arms will be getting sore on that side. And it's close again to the line. It's not moving too far as players try to rip it out of their opponent's grasp, and in there was, well, at the moment, bursting through, and nicely played there by Sear. It goes forward to centre forward, and here's a chance for the Kangaroos to go forward. Francis in there. The kick goes to full forward. Can't be taking the mark, and slipping back was McDowell. Slipping back for Burwood was Fleming and Zabo. And it's close to the line again. Some tricky work by Ivory. And
not so tricky. He kicked it out on the full.
Well, he made a trick of himself there, and he kicked it out in the full. And the kick will go to East Ringwood, and they'll have the first shot of the goal in this first term. And you can see in the back third terms. Yeah, just so confusing this game, isn't it? You see in the background the temporary marquee tents, and I think it's a boundary throw-in, so it must have been touched off the boot. Just in the background there, you can see the marquee tents with the grandstands there. So it's great viewing here at Bayswater Oval, just for all the supporters. And it's 40 metres out from the Kangaroos' goal. They've got, oh, that's a tackle well laid by the Rams, just as the Kangaroos were ready to pounce and have a shot at goal. The tap was won by Pegram, and getting up the ground, handing the ball over. To throw her up 40 metres out from the goals. Cooper might be first there. Well, he had to go around a couple of players to pick up the ball. He does. His hand pass doesn't go too far, and it rolls over the boundary line, 60 metres out from East Ringwood's goal. And we've played over 5 minutes in this third term.
So the ball will be tossed in for the umpteenth occasion, and this time on the half-forward flank. East Ringwood in attack. They hold a 5-point lead. We've played 6.5 minutes here at Bayswater Oval in this third quarter, as Ivory is gathering the football. Strong tackle applied on Migliore. Umpire's going to pay a free kick, and it'll be the Rams with the ball on half-back flank. Already celebrating their earlier premiership. East Burwood Colts getting over the line over Mitcham earlier today, so the East Burwood Masses already happy with 1 victory, but they want 2 as Birch has the ball on half-back. Good smother. Here come the Rams. Ratcliffe's kick forward, and it's bouncing for Howe. Will it sit? No, it just skidded along the turf. There's a chance off the ground. Can the Rams do something? And that is a marvellous finish, and it's Adrian Galino who's kicked the earlier goal for the Rams, who's socketed off the ground. And a great goal there for Galino, and he has both of the Rams' goals. And very opportunistic player, Adrian Galino, and he has cut the margin to just 1 point. We have played 7.5 minutes, third term here at Bayswater Oval.
So that's the second goal of the match off the deck, In the first quarter, Eslick was quick to react. Just a spillage with the way of Galeno, who quickly got the kick around and socketed it through.
There's going to be a lot of the soccer goals too seen later on in the senior game and also for the rest of this game.
We won't be seeing a lot of goals, will we? We've only had 2 apiece, nearly 3 quarters played. Kick off the ground by McDowell, and he gets to pick it up again. Hand pass out there to Hansen. Quick kick to half forward. Not in good position was Fry, but he does bump. And he's got the ball at just near the boundary line, and we'll have a boundary throw in. So just moved it forward, the Kangaroos there. They're 70 metres from their goal. And the scores are closed to East Burwood hitting the front, 2-5-17 to East Ringwood, 2-4-16. Quarter time it was 2-4-1-4 with East Ringwood leading. East Burwood's goal puts them in front. And that would be, have they had the lead just from recollection?
No, I don't think they have. I think the first goal went East Ringwood's way, so on recollection, I'd say East Burwood have not held the lead, but they're in front now.
So the punch's been one down, and it's East Burwood just going to take it over the line. There was Cripps. And we're going to have a boundary throw in, if that hasn't been said before. 60 metres out from the Kangaroos' goal. So the boundary umpire will bring it back in. Pegram for the Kangaroos rucking versus Zachariason for the Rams. Pegram gets the front, but in doing so he gives away the free kick. And it's the Rams who will take it. Well, it might have been just off the ruck contest, that free kick. So the Rams kick is, well, it seemed to be marked. Hansen's in there for the Kangaroos. Even in these conditions, mark's not being paid. Aidan Sear picked it up, dropped it as soon as he got it when he was trying to get the kick up, and Casey Radcliffe gets it forward. But it's been kicked out of bounds on the full, so East Ringwood would get it going forward again from centre wing.
So the Roos to bring it forward. They trail by 1 point. We've played 10 minutes into this third quarter here at Bayswater Oval, and Michael Thompson taking the mark on the half-forward flank. He spears a low pass. Was aiming for Francis. He didn't hit his target. Big congestion around the football. In there's Ben Wise for the Rams. And umpire David Scollery calls for a ball up at the half-forward flank. It's a 1 point lead to East Burwood here in the Division 1 Reserves Grand Final for season 2005. Umpire Scollery with the ball in hand. He just tosses it up nice and high in the air. Winning the ruck tap there for the Rams was Ratcliffe, and the ball sees over the line by Michael Thompson. So we're not moving too far. We've just had 4 goals in this game so far. Hasn't been a very high scoring match, but it's been a real tough, hard at it football. Not football that normally you would see in September, but nonetheless a great grand final taking place, and it's close, and that's what we love to see in grand finals. Throw-in came in. East Ringwood have the numbers here as they attempt to work it forward. Cooper was maybe held without it. Umpire said play on. Cooper's in there again, feeding off the hand pass. Rams trying to work it forward. Jason May does well. Off the ground is Tim Howe. It's good work. Now there's a chance. Off the left foot is Gordon Laurie. He goes long to the forward line. May has the ball. He's a left foot kick, and it's brilliantly smothered. Great effort there from number 36 in Jeffrey Bartling for East Ringwood there. And really, that was a marvellous smother. He was running away, and he could have centred that ball. He's a left foot kick and a great effort to smother it.
So it's on this side, thankfully for the broadcasters, that we can see more clearly. It's a boundary throw-in though. 50 metres out. Good work there by Clark. Just getting the ball forward. Now May slips over as he tries to pick it up close to the boundary line, and he's been taken over the shoulder there by Stuart McDowell. So a good decision by the umpire. And the umpire's been consistent. If you've got the ball, and you've got your head over it, you'll be protected. So it's May with the ball close to the boundary line. Well, he really is on it, and he's got an acute angle as he's just about standing in that ditch you can see under his feet there on his left foot. So he creeps inside the field of play, the kick on the right foot, goes close to the line but just off to the right, and actually misses the target in the end and goes out for a boundary throw-in on the other side of the ground, the scoreboard pocket. The scoreboard reads East Burwood 2-5-17 leading up by a point over East Ringwood 2-4-16. We played over 12 minutes in this reserves Division 1 third quarter. So the boundary throw-in here close to the Rams goal. They look to add to their 1 point lead. Laurie in the ruck. He's bandaged up, wins the tap, gets to ground level Howe, and there's Wrigley. May's in there as well, and he's been wrapped up. And 15 metres out from the goals for East Burwood. The umpire comes in, will ball it up. Quick throws it up high. There's Wise, quick thinking, the kick off the ground. It's worked on a couple of occasions, but this time it goes out to the right. And East Burwood extend the lead out to 2 points. 2-6-18 to East Ringwood 2-4-16.
Great attempt from Ben Wise, really just threw the boot out. It wasn't far off and would have been a miraculous soccer goal from Wise. As the kick out is taken, it's poor. The soccer kick from Laurie, it spills to Migliore. He feeds the hand pass off and Galino's kicked all 3 of East Burwood's goals. And don't the fans love it? And the Rams are now 8 points in front. That's a shocking kick out from East Ringwood. And East Burwood have now extended their lead to 8 points. We've played 14 minutes third term. Adrian Galino proving a bit of a handful in the forward line for East Burwood.
Well, he is, and didn't they celebrate that like it's a match-winning lead almost? We've had 5.
Well, it is, nearly.
Yep, lead by 8 points and only 5 goals in 2.5 quarters. There won't be many more goals in this game, you'd think.
That says something about the game. Match-winning lead, 3-2.
So Wise, here he comes bursting from the middle. Casey Radcliffe just getting underneath it. And East Burwood have got the chance. Galino's there again. And he's been wrapped up. And they're really keen to get him to the ground because he has been the danger man. 3 goals in this game. That could just be a performance that will be the difference in the 2 teams. Ball up again, 30 metres out from the goals. Run down, Wise again, that great centre clearance on the left, and he just sprays it out. But he did get some good distance on it, gave it a fair whack with the left foot, but it went out of bounds.
He'll be disappointed with that, Ben Wise. He's a quality player, played a lot of First Division senior footy over the years. Beautiful left foot kick, and normally you would have been expecting better from him. He was bumped as he kicked, but he's starting to have an influence on the game, as we saw with that centre break.
And Hanson from the back pocket. Cooper in good position, just decides to paddle it on. He's there to butter up, but it slips out of his hands. Here's Zachariason and Casey Radcliffe working it nicely. Round the corner looking for Ryan Clark, goes over his head and cleaned up there by Hanson. Goes to their centre half back, a bit of a foot race here. Gordon Laurie, nice pick up with the left hand, didn't even break stride. Tim Howes, he's the man he wants to find. And just as he's spilling to the ground, the ball spills out of his hands and out of bounds, about 50 metres from the Rams goal. So at Bayswater Oval, we're seeing the Division 1 Reserves Grand Final with the score reading East Burwood 3-6-24 leading East Ringwood, who are staying at their half-time score of 2-4-16. And we've played over 16 minutes in this third term.
Ball tossed in, chance for East Burwood to extend their lead, which currently sits at 8 points. And they are performing very well this second quarter. This third quarter make that East Burwood 2-2, no score to East Ringwood, and that's telling as Wise thumps the ball forward. It's a long kick, and he's kicked that for touch, and he's gained 60 metres. It's the equivalent of a 40-20 in rugby. It's a great kick long, and he's gained a lot of ground, and they're going to have a throw in deep in the forward pocket for East Burwood. Crowd starting to build up. Very, very good looking crowd and healthy signs for the Eastern Football League. Rain may have put some customers off this afternoon, but the sun is now shining here at Bayswater Oval and the grandstands are almost full. As Wise, the third man up, he went up, a chance for number 3, Gordon Laurie, he's kicked a goal. Great kick from East Burwood, and Matty Lee in front of us, he loves it, and it's a goal for East Burwood, 4-4-28, 4-6-30, they lead East Ringwood 2-4-16, and a great snap from Gordon Laurie. And geez, these small crummers, they're proving a handful for East Ringwood. 3 goals to Galino and then 1 for Gordon Laurie.
And Gordon Laurie having a great day. As I said, the last time I saw him was in the second last round at East Burwood Reserve, where he got knocked out against Croydon. And it's great to see him back in this reserves grand final. Kicked the last goal, spreads the lead to 14 points, and here go the Rams again. Getting up with the ball is Ryan Clark, and they're just winning the free kicks of getting in there first. Ryan Clark from the centre, kicks the ball to centre half forward. Can't find anyone yet, but he's got a teammate there picking up Migliore. Ball just been paddled forward. It's not going too well. Here it comes out to May. May with a quick kick to full forward. Here's Laurie again, just trying to stretch his body out and can't mark it before it does eventually go out of bounds.
Amazing courage from Gordon Laurie. He's already been off once with the blood rule. He's just throwing himself at the ball. That one could have easily gone out on the full. He just dived into the ground, nearly hitting the fence. I think he's showing good courage, and East Burwood would be impressed with this, his third quarter effort.
It's a winning edge they've got is that they are getting their bodies in first, and they're just winning those vital stoppages. The tap won by Laurie. Well, that was Howe, just with the flying kick. Couldn't get it going. And is that on the fall at all? It is. So the quick kick out there from the defender of the Kangaroos has been turned over. Picking up the ball is Jason May. Similar position he was before, near the ditch, out of bounds. His kick's been to the goal square, and fortunes are fitting that it's Tim Howe who just was first to react in good position, took it on his chest. And Tim Howe from 5 metres out. And he's getting some advice from Ryan Clark just to settle down and make sure of it. Ben Wise wants to wipe the water off the ball. Just
Howe's been a pivotal part of the senior side in the last couple of years. He really played some good footy. One game that stands out for mine was the match Vermont and East Ringwood last year in the preliminary final, when East Burwood restricted them to 1 goal, and Tim Howe was best on ground and simply awesome that day. He carved up Vermont with his run-off defence, and he's proving a pivotal player for them, and the reserves are very lucky to have a player of his calibre back in the side today.
And we just had a blood rule, which is why the delay is happening. It just gives the chance for East Burwood just to get some water off the ball, just to take some weight off it, and this will be a vital goal. This could be a match-winning lead if it goes through the centre, and he seems happy with it. I think it's all bluff, because the umpire went far to the right and said, guys, it's a point.
Should have kicked that.
East Burwood 4-7-31 lead, East Ringwood 2-4-16, moving into time on in this third term of the reserves Division 1 Grand Final.
So East Ringwood to bring it out of defence through Hanson, and it's an absolute bomb. It travels about 75 metres. It's what you need in this weather, long kicks, but East Burwood go forward. May is loose out on far side, picks it up, goes, right foot kick is good. Nearly taking the mark there for East Burwood was Radcliffe. Ball spilled to ground level. Wise was applying pressure. Ball hit the deck. There's Radcliffe again. Gets it to Reece Dahl. Right foot kick. And Laurie nearly taking the mark, dropping back. And East Burwood with all the run at the moment, and they would just want one more goal to probably put an end to this game. They are exactly double East Ringwood's score. 4-8-32 East Burwood, 2-4-16 East Ringwood. We have played 21 minutes into this third quarter as East Ringwood bringing out a defence. Wise is there across half back, across half forward for the Rams, and it's going to be his free kick, a tripping infringement. Going the way of Ben Wise. Played a lot of senior football with the Rams. Now it's going to be Ivory's free kick. So Ben Wise, he must be the designated ball dryer because he was doing that as well then. And Ivory's kick was not a good one into the forward line. He scuffed it. May is diving in there, doing a good work. Reece Dahl dives on top of the footy, has to get rid of it. May was ridden into the ground. Umpire said, I'll have it, thank you very much. 55 metres around from the left behind post. East Burwood in attack, 16 points up.
Well, they're just really extending their bodies and putting it on the line, aren't they, East Burwood? That diving effort by May just to get in first, keep it going forward and to a teammate. There's Clark, just got his hand to it. Howe can't pick it up. He'll be desperate to make up for that miss just only moments ago. Wrigley picks it up. His quick kick goes to the forward line. Laurie gets underneath it. Oh, that's brilliant roving there by Radcliffe. Gives it over to his teammate in Ben Ivory. James Ivory missing to the left. And that was good teamwork. Hasn't Casey Radcliffe been good with his hands in these conditions? One time before he even dived out in front of himself just to get the extension in the hand pass. He's really throw himself around. And
it's been great, Casey Ratcliffe. Him and also James Ivory and Ben Wise, just experienced, and Tim Howe for that matter, experienced senior players who are finding the footy and getting lots of it.
So it's that back pocket here for the Roos. They haven't done any scoring in this third term, and we're into time on period. They'll need the next goal because there's only been 6 scored in the game, and here they get a free kick, an opportunity for Birch to get them going forward from half back. Hanson's drifting forward, goes in that direction but drops short. Dale over the top with the punch, and there again is Casey Radcliffe as the ball goes over the line. Just at the centre corridor, as coming onto the ground is Joshua Singh. Just
letting the viewers know that, as we mentioned, there's no time on played in the first half. There is in the second half. It's just to ensure that the games flow and don't take forever. So there is time on in this half. We're 23.5 minutes into this third quarter, and we should be a couple of minutes away from a completion to this quarter. Ball out on wing side, broadcast side, and right ridden into the ground. That's a shocking tackle, and it's going to be a free kick going the way of the Rams, and it's going to go the way of Ryan Clark for East Burwood. So Clark goes with a right foot kick, and it's good, and good mark taken there by Martin Fleming. Strikingly familiar to Michael Migliore, except he's got the long sleeves, and Fleming goes long. A chance for a mark. Ivory's at ground level, gets the hand pass away to Reece Dahl with a right foot snap, just missing. And that would have been pretty good, and would have been a good goal, but unfortunately to no avail. East Burwood 4-9-33 lead East Ringwood 2-4-16. We've played 24 minutes third term here at Bayswater Oval.
So this could be the match-winning break here. East Burwood have added 3 goals in the third term, but a free kick's going to East Ringwood. And half-back, they'll be relieved to take this kick from the half-back line. They go out to the wing, but it's all ended in the hands of Ben Wise. Misdirected kick. So Wise will steady things down long while he puts in the big torpedo.
Rainmaker too.
Oh, yeah, it was a flat punt that went high, and it's in the forward line. It's been kept in. Getting in there again for the Rams is Radcliffe, and being tackled to the ground by Thompson. That time it wasn't Radcliffe, but we've been calling him off enough. I've made the mistake there. Tap one by James. Hits the deck for Hanson, and the quick kick goes to half back through Sear. Now picked up the ball. The Kangaroos can't go too far, and Andrew Brown was held up there. And it's stacks on the mill, shall we say, at half-back line, and the umpire has to come in. The umpire this time is Jason Herman.
Doing a wonderful job, the umpires this afternoon.
So Herman throws it up, and the tap wasn't won by Eva Ruckman. Kick off the ground. Wise got his hand on it, just stopped it going further. Ivory there with the hand pass. Goes to a teammate, and he's been swallowed up. And a free kick for the first time with the interpretation of the holding the ball. You can't dive on it. And that's the first time that interpretation's been used.
25-metre penalty to boot.
Well, he didn't really agree with it. It's been wet weather football. The umpires have been accommodating the fact. But this time, I think the umpires want to open the game up. So it will be through with a kick from the Kangaroos. Again, Wise is just in the right position to chop off those kicks that don't go to the right direction. His kick goes towards Ivory, comes from behind, but over the shoulder of his opponent. And quickly moved on. The Kangaroos going forward, going to centre forward, chopped off by May. And May's got Howe on the wing. Good work there. He's going to use his body, didn't have to, just waited for it and took the chest mark on the wing. He's got Fleming out wide calling for it. He's going to ignore him. So Howe goes to centre forward. He's got Laurie. He's been good. Tried to take with the hands out the front. And a free kick again going to East Ringwood. As Wrigley just came over the top of his opponent and infringed. And the Kangaroos now got another mark. They've got the ball on the wing. There was Brown, couldn't take the mark as the kick only went 5 metres. Hanson's in there, got his hands working. Brown again, well, He's got his head over it, but can't get things going. And that was May who got the quick kick out. And it's going to be a boundary throw in on this side of the Bayswater Oval.
Can't be long to go now. 27.5 minutes troubled third term.
And the scores this quarter is, well, if we just look in terms of the scoring in the quarter, it's been 2 goals, 5 to no score. So East Burwood have had a great quarter, have had a trail by 6. Now they lead, so it's 3 goals, 5, so they lead by 17 now. And they go forward again, late in this third term. Here's Hanson on the end of it. The kick from Bryan, being chopped off by Ivory. He needs to bend over and pick it up. Can he get the hand pass out to Wise? In there is also his Clark. Clark eventually picks it up. Will be on his left, tries to get it inside to a teammate. Birch is there. He's under a bit of harassment there. Fleming on hands and knees, picks it up, gets the hand pass out. Got a teammate to pick it up, but he's not going too far. Beautiful tackle applied by Bryan in defence here as we nearly come into 3-quarter time. 17 points of difference. East Burwood have added 3 goals, 5 to overturn the 6-point deficit to lead by 17. Coming into this third term, quick kick out. It's now in the centre wing. Howe with pace, even on this wet ground. He's showing a fleet of foot, and his kick's been well marked by Fleming. About 45 metres out on the right half-forward flank. Maybe just outside kicking distance with a wet ball. Gets it to the goal square. High fly Laurie. But the Roos have got the numbers there to tap it through from behind. And that adds to East Burwood's score. They move on to 4-10-34 to East Ringwood, 2-4-16 late in this third term of the Division 1 Reserves Grand Final.
Can't be much longer to go. We've played 29.5 minutes gone into this third quarter. James Willoughby and Gavin Casey bringing you all the action from Bayswater Oval. A 3-goal lead to East Burwood, and that is a very, very good win. Lead in these conditions. A long kick from James from fullback, found Sear out on the wing. His kick goes in the direction of centre wing, getting just bumped off the football was Brown. Sabo was also in there for the Rams. Now the Kangaroos get it forward. Can they muster a late goal to cut the margin to 2 goals? Swooping hand pass from Pegram. Here come the Kangaroos. Can they get a goal? Brilliant smother. Great effort from Tim Mackay. And that is a fantastic smother from the kick of Andrew Brown there. He kicked it in a fantastic smother. Ball in tight. Rosendale was in there at centre half forward for the Roos. Can May get it out? Just a quick soccer. Goes towards the boundary line. Trying to keep it in is McDowell. And the umpire will call for the ball and say, thank you very much, that'll be mine. And the timekeepers, are they asleep, Gav?
No, well, throw-ins are now stoppages in the clock.
True.
So we've probably had a few of them.
30.5 minutes gone. And there is the siren for 3-quarter time. It is East Burwood 4-10-34. Leading East Ringwood 2-4-16. A brilliant quarter if you follow the Rams. They kicked 2 goals, 6. And they kicked 3 goals. They kicked 3 goals, 6, and that was compared to East Ringwood, who did not score. So a great effort. They outscored them by 4 goals in that quarter. Just some of the goal kickers in the first 3 quarters. For East Burwood, we had 3 goals to Adrian Galino and 1 to Gordon Laurie. And for East Ringwood, just those 2 goals in the first quarter, Tim Francis and Andrew Eslick. Welcome back to Bayswater Oval. You are watching the EFL DVD of the match between East Ringwood and East Burwood. It's the Division 1 Reserves Grand Final. And a third quarter which was absolutely scintillating from East Burwood. Blew their opposition East Ringwood away. 3 goals, 6 to no score. Adrian Galino with 3 goals. He has been the star for East Burwood. We're about to get underway for the final quarter, and it's a 3-goal lead to East Burwood. And to bring you the start of proceedings for the final term, once again, it is Gavin Casey.
And the wind is just sparking up here at the moment. Just as the rain has cleared, the wind is just getting up, and you can see some of the jumpers just getting a bit of a rustle through them. And as the umpire waits to ball it up here in the centre for the last quarter. And it's a 18-point lead to the Rams. And they go to the right of screen. East Ringwood in the blue and white. The Kangaroos going to the left of screen. Ball not going too far from that centre bounce. And it's now eventually being knocked forward. The Rams at centre half forward. Birch there with the quick hand pass at centre half back. And well wrapped up in a tackle there was Migliore. Just forward of the centre circle for East Burwood. Again a ball up. Pegram wins the tap, coming over the top. Punch there was Zabo. And it's inside 50 now, just by pushing it forward, and Casey Radcliffe gets tackled to the ground by Rosendale. So we're 45 metres out from the Rams' goal. Another throw up. Pegram versus Laurie. There's Wise, couldn't take it. Clark underneath the pack. Wise kicking it off the ground. And also May, just at the bottom of the pack. And being wrapped up was Rosendale by Bryce Radcliffe. So we have a ball up, 45 metres out. Laurie comes in over the top, just nudges Pegram out of the way. The ball just drops to the ground where Laurie's trying to feed it out. Just punching it, pushing it forward. And it's being pushed forward about 3 metres forward of the last throw up. So umpire's getting a lot of work here. Then he throws it up high, and you see it just drifts with the wind there, just off centre course there. And it's probably going to the left of the screen, so East Ringwood would be happy for that. But they need clear possession. Now they've got one through Hansen, just rushes a kick. And there is Zachariason, gets it to centre forward, looking for Wrigley. On his case is Birch, but Wrigley got a bit of pace, uses his toe in effect to kick the ball off the ground, and he picks it up, and his kick at goal just might be the sealer early in this last term. 2 minutes played. East Burwood through Wrigley, moved to 5-10-40, leading East Ringwood, who haven't moved off their halftime score of 2-4-16.
Right, it is a now very, very comfortable 4-goal lead to East Burwood, 5-10-40 over East Ringwood, 2-4-16, and they're playing some marvellous football. The Rams in that third quarter, 3 goals, 6 to no score, and well, after half-time it stands at 4 goals, 6 to East Ringwood, who hadn't scored. Ball to be brought out of the middle. Here come the Roos. They need a goal desperately. May on centre wing picks the football up. Umpire spotted out a free kick, and it's going to go the way of the Rams, and the recipient will be Bo Cosson. So Cosson to bring it off half-back for East Burwood. They lead by 24 points, 5 goals 10 to 2 goals 4. We have played 3 minutes into this final quarter. Long kick from Cosson went up. Hansen contested, couldn't quite take the mark. Ball spilled. Migliore at ground level kicks, and doing very well was Wrigley, the kicker of the last goal. Birch is wrapped up in a strong tackle by Radcliffe. Hand pass goes to Laurie. Right foot kick. Can he squeeze it through? It's a goal! Gordon Laurie has his second. Marvellous goal for East Burwood, and they have kicked their 6th. That would actually be their 7th goal, would it?
No, you're right, 6.
Yeah, the scoreboard attendance just a bit confusing there, but a 6th goal for East Burwood and a 2nd for Gordon Laurie, and he's playing some great football. A running goal there from 45 metres, and he drilled it straight through the middle to extend East Burwood's lead to 30 points, 6 goals 10, 46 to East Ringwood, 2-4-16. We've played 3 3/4 minutes in this final term, and it looks bad signs for the Roos, Gavin.
Yeah, it does, and they need to get it going forward, but again, it was Wise just bustling his way through, and at centre-half back, James off centre-half back gets the clearing kick for the Roos. First there is Ivory at half-forward flank. He's just going to kick it off the ground, and I reckon he's going to see this out of bounds. No, the ball's been kept in. There's Ivory going in again, has to go in and fight for it, and it's not going too far now, as Mackay is being wrapped up in a tackle. We've said it all before, but they've got a number of senior players, and Gordon Laurie, just as the ground may be drying up a little bit, the skies are clearing, we're getting a bit of blue instead of the dark clouds overhead, and some great skills there from Laurie with that kick around the corner just before. So just hope that the conditions improve for the senior game, but just in this last quarter it is improving, so we can see some of the finer skills of football just instead of those quick kicks. East Ringwood grabbed the ball, but it's now in the deck there, and it's sent half back. A nice mark taken by Rosendale. He just quickly kicks it. They're not mucking around here, East Ringwood. They need to get it forward and quick. But it's been taken by the Rams at centre back. Misdirected kick. Rosendale will have to get onto Laurie quickly. Laurie, quick kick into forward line. He's got a man all on his own. It's Fleming. Fleming hands it over to his teammate Galino. And the quick kick off the ground just misses to the left. Fleming
hits the post.
Well, yes, hits the left side of the post, I should say. And Galino, well, normally he's been quick to react and dangerous around goals. So he just, I don't know if he got stage fright there, but he's kicked 3 already.
Normally you would have backed him to kick that, wouldn't you? He's kicked a couple of harder goals, and that one he just had to boot it straight through the middle, but unfortunately he couldn't for the Rams. Hanson's long kick went in the direction of Pegram, couldn't quite take the mark. Hanson broke on out of side after his kick, looking to get a few more possessions, and he's been very good for the Roos this afternoon. Ivory gets a kick away. Leading the chase though is McDowell on centre wing. Big pack of players around the football. Will it come out? It does. Cooper gives it off. Now here's a chance for East Ringwood.
There's a free kick, James, there for a push from the umpire, paid the push, and the players chose to ignore it, but until the umpire said, well, it's not advantage, bring it back.
So we'll have a free kick, and it's Sear to drive it long into attack, and a good mark taken by Tim Howe. He has been brilliant this afternoon. I know I've already referred to that match against Vermont last year, but it just reminds me of how similar he was that day, just mopping up everything across the half-back line and really giving him a lot of run. Howe's kick is a bit of a floater, but it makes good ground in rugby terms, as we have been talking a fair bit during the game, and it goes makes 50 or 60 metres, and it goes out on centre wing.
So at centre wing here, the scores, East Ringwood have not moved off their half-time score of 2-4. East Burwood have had a great second half, adding 5 goals to move to 6-11-47. And as they look to take out this Division 1 Reserves Grand Final, kick forward by East Ringwood is misdirected and it's out on the full. So East Burwood have another chance to go forward. And the wind's just getting up here a little bit at the Bayswater Oval. Might be just affecting kicks, blowing them off course. So East Burwood again go to half forward, just dropping back in the hole. There was Thompson, couldn't bring down the mark, and again it's over the line for a boundary throw in. Well, the umpire actually found a free kick here to East Ringwood, just for a bit of a push, and it's James getting up with the ball. James just behind the centre wing position, kicks all the way to half forward, hoping for a teammate to burst onto it. In the area is Eslick, and there is a bit of appeal by East Ringwood saying that East Burwood kicked out in the full, but the umpire will have none of that, and it's a boundary throw in. Pegram versus Zachariason in the ruck. Ivory's in there, whether he'll come over the top or not. He's standing near the, well, he tried to, he couldn't get near it as the ball was blown away with the throw in. And now it's Thompson, picks up, hand passes to a teammate in Johnstone. His kick didn't go forward, and now bending over to his Rosendale. Has to work hard here. He's got a few to beat on hands and knees. And it's not going away from underneath his body, so the umpire will pay. As Radcliffe just holds him up there. Good work just to keep the ball in there. With that new interpretation of holding the ball, if you don't get it out from underneath your body, you can be penalised. So I think every footballer is open to that. Just keep it underneath the man underground. Laurie has been doing some ruck duties forward. He's got a good leap. And he didn't win the tap, but East Burwood win from a free kick. Go forward, pass in the direction, and a fine mark. Was it? No. Galino couldn't take a mark. He's had 3 already. Now it's out to Cooper at half back. He can't keep it in and sees it over the line at half back for East Ringwood. As we've played over 9 minutes, and you might be able to hear some wind blowing through the effects mic, because it is starting to pick up, and it looks like it's going to the right of screen here, and it's a bit of a blustery one.
Let's hope our truck doesn't get blown over.
Well, I'll trust the tonnage of the truck to hold.
So will I. Only slightly though. As the ball is in the middle of Bayswater Oval. Here come the Roos. Can they get a goal? Long kick this time from Singh. There's a chance they should kick a goal, and they make no mistake. It is a goal for East Ringwood, and wasn't it dearly needed. And the goal kicker there is Stuart McDowell. He's been a pretty good player this afternoon. But he kicks his first of the afternoon. and East Ringwood's third, and that is their first score since halfway through the second term. Amazing statistic, that one.
Well, even more amazing, the first goal in 3 quarters. They probably this time in the first quarter they had 2 goals on the board, and it's taken a while to see another goal. It's all but too late, you'd reckon. So back in the middle, McDowell adds to East Ringwood's score. They're 3-4-22, trail East Burwood 6-11-47. 10 minutes gone in this last term of Reserves Division 1 Grand Final. Laurie with the kick, gets it forward. Wrigley didn't take the mark. Birch just sort of knocked him forward. Now Birch tried to get it going. In there is Wise. And we'll have a ball up 50 metres out from the Rams' goal. So since half-time, it's been 5 goals, 7 to only 1 goal. So a vital third term there. 3 goals, 6 East Burwood to East Ringwood, no score. That's the difference as James gets a free kick, hands it out wide. Quick kick there by Brown, not going too far. So East Burwood again will tack. Goes into the forward line, can't take the mark, James. May's there. Now it's been knocked forward. Laurie's last man standing, kicks off the ground, and another goal to Laurie as he puts his hands up to celebrate with his teammates.
Number 3.
And well might he celebrate his 3rd goal. Adds to East Burwood's lead. They are now 8 goals, 11, 59. So we'll just wait for the scoreboard to tick over. It is 7 goals, 11, 53 to East Ringwood, 3-4-22. 12 minutes gone in this last term.
3rd goal for Laurie, also with 3 goals, is Galeno this afternoon. They've had a very good game, the forward duo, and they have formed a potent combination, and it is all over for East Ringwood. 31 points the difference at the moment. Spillage on centre wing. We'll have a pack around the football, and geez, we haven't seen that this afternoon, have we? And umpire comes in and we'll have a ball up. So, umpire throws it up. Winning the football is Dahl in the ruck. He's been pretty good this afternoon after Begram did very, very well early. Centre half back, kick forward is by Fleming for East Burwood. Though getting the ball back and thumping it long into attack is Andrew Brown, but it's to no avail as the mark is taken. East Burwood now bringing it away through defence. Ratcliffe dropped a mark he should have taken, fed the hand pass off. Now, just a bit of pressure. Is there a chance? McDowell's been good. He has 1 goal. He's well tackled, and the umpire's paid holding the ball, which is a fair call, I think, because yes, it was a good tackle applied by Ben Wise.
And Ben Wise from half back gets it to the centre wing. Laurie and Wrigley fly, and on the deck is Ryan Clark. And in there for Hansen for the Kangaroos, working with Rosendale close to line. It's out of bounds.
Battled hard, Hansen. It's been good today, I thought, for the Roos. How about some of your better players for the losers?
Well, East Ringwood will go down, but they've had some Pegram in the rucks, been doing a good job. And we'll just work on some others just while we watch this. Just tick a few off. There's Birch. He's been working hard, but his opponent kicked a goal in this last quarter. There's Ivory, knocking it out to May. May, he's had to work hard close to the line. He doesn't really want to get it too far because he hasn't got too much help in the end, but Ivory came in late, just before the umpire wanted to ball it up. Hansen, and we've mentioned Pegram, and Cooper's done all right, I would suggest. There's McDowell. And he's been pushed in the back, McDowell for the Roos. And he'll get it going forward. Thompson there to hand it over to him. Bartling's in there, but Thompson will take the hand pass. Nice shepherd by Pegram. Kick well smothered by Wise. Just as the Kangaroos got a bit of dash going, it hasn't worked for him in this second half.
With that shepherd, Ratcliffe looks to have taken Pegram high and a bit of blood coming from the mouth, so Pegram's going to be replaced, but a good solid bump from Ratcliffe. He certainly didn't let him off lightly. So we're getting ready to replace Pegram. Umpire hasn't noticed it. There'll be a throw in. Ball spills out. Leading the chase for East Burwood is Ratcliffe of the Bryce variety. And half back A lot of players piling in, and the East Burwood player who was in and under there could have been taken high, but it wasn't interpreted that way.
So, James, who would you throw up as East Ringwood's better players?
I think McDowell's been very good. He hasn't been a full quarter contributor, but he's really tried hard. I think Shane Hansen's also been good. Pegram, as you mentioned, Brian shown a bit down back, and Aidan Sears gathered a lot of football through the middle for mine.
So here's a chance for Wrigley running onto it. He's got 5 metres on his opponent, doesn't get down to pick it up. Birch eventually comes in to help out his teammates. Hansen there, he's had a good day at centre-half back, and it's now been picked up by Richie. Richie's quick kick out to the outer side here, and East Ringwood have got the numbers, and they will go forward through Singh. Singh gets it to full forward, pushing his opponent out. There was Tim Francis, gets his hand pass out over to McDowell. McDowell running into an open goal. Has kicked both goals for East Ringwood in this last term. East Ringwood now 4-4-28, trailing East Burwood 7-11-53, 16 minutes gone in this final term of the Division 1 Reserves Grand Final.
So a 25-point lead to the Rams, and despite a couple of goals from McDowell in this quarter, East Ringwood will go down, bar an absolute miracle. 16.25 minutes travelled in this final term here at Bayswater Oval. James Willoughby and Gavin Casey bringing you all the action from Bayswater Oval, the Division 1 2005 Reserves Grand Final. It will be David Scollery to ball the ball up in the middle of Bayswater Oval, tapped down by Dahl. Winning the football in there though was Francis for East Ringwood. Big pack of players. Bit of kick to kick between the half-back lines. Howe has it again, being fantastic, although that kick is not good. There's a chance for East Ringwood to get another goal here. Spills off the pack. It's 36, Bartling. Hand passes it away. Bead is there. But the half-back line of East Burwood, they've been so good all day. And they won't stop now. Ball out broadcast side. Here we go, East Burwood leading the chase. Player there in Brett Masters. Thanks very much, Gavin. Just leading the ball over the boundary line. And we'll have a throw-in right on centre wing, right in front of the broadcast position. And it's East Ringwood playing East Burwood, and it is a 25-point lead to East Burwood. Ball to be tossed back in. Doing battle in the ruck will be Dahl and Birch.
Got to congratulate East Burwood for their Colts victory earlier today. So they've done the double.
Yes, they'll be very happy down at East Burwood Reserve at Ram Stadium, as it is known sometimes. I'm sure there'll be a few celebratory drinks being drunk down there, but
Future's bright.
yes, there is a good future. There always has been at East Burwood, and they've got some really good young kids, and I think if they blood them and play up for them in the seniors next year, they can go forward. You've got some kids in the reserves here, players like Ben Wise and James Ivory, who could easily cement a senior spot in the side. Casey Ratcliffe, they maybe just haven't been given the opportunities they would have liked. And
well, the goal kickers, Galino, 19, 3 goals. Laurie, 3 goals. He's only 19.
Oh yeah, you're right. Good times for East Burwood after a disappointing season this year, but they just snuck into the finals, and their supporters would normally expect better. 25-point lead to East Burwood.
And they're on ball as May and Clark, the captain of reserves. They're only 21, so they'll be pressing for games next year, as well as Radcliffe, who's 24. He's had a great day.
So we're going to have a throw in. The boundary umpire has done a marvellous job today. It's a good throw in the last quarter, and really they have done a fantastic job, as have all the officiating umpires this afternoon. On the field we have David Scollery and Jason Herman. The boundary umpires Alex Gimenez and Ben McDonald. In the goals, Brett Hodgson and Peter Devison, and the emergency umpire is Craig Johnson. No relation to the Liverpool star, who played a bit of soccer for Liverpool, including playing a key role in their FA Cup triumph as a resultant throw-in just spilled away, and another pack formed, and it is another pack, Gavin. We've certainly had a lot of it this afternoon. The second half's opened up a bit more. We had 2 goals to 1 at half-time, and thank God it has. As Ryan Clark will gain a free kick for his efforts on the wing. Getting a bit of advice from Ben Wise at the moment. So he'll just headlong into attack with Clark. Kick doesn't get too much carry on it, and he's going for Wrigley. And it's going to be a throw in. Wrigley nearly taking the mark, but just going over the boundary line and out of bounds. Disappointing day for East Ringwood today. I think they would have thought they were a better show than what they've performed. With a 25-point loss. 25-point, they trailed by 25 points. Sorry, and we've played 20 minutes, so it could be a 20-point loss, 25-point loss, because there is not much time left. Probably another 6 or 7 minutes to go. And East Ringwood have the ball across half back, and we'll hand over to you in a second, Gavin, as Shane Johnston has the ball and kicks it out on the field.
So East Burwood have had the wood on East Ringwood all year. They won their 2 home and away encounters, 128 to 62 the first time, and then East Burwood won again, 102 to 74, and they hold the edge again in this grand final. So they came straight through, beating Vermont in the semi-final to go straight through the grand final. So they've only had 1 loss this year, East Burwood. All in all, if you take that into account, they're probably deserved premiership. They'll be deserved premiership champions, and they'll take the cup here for the reserves grand final, leading 7-11-53 to East Ringwood 4-4-28, 21 minutes played in this last term. Major goal kickers have been Galeno 3, Gordon Laurie 3, with Laurie adding 2 this quarter. There's James from the tap out, quick kick out from the back of the pack to the wing, looking for his teammate in Cooper. Singh, knocks it back. And there is Wise again. He's had a great second half, and he got taken over the shoulder. So Wise has been, and there's a 25-metre penalty against Singh. And he's not too sure why, but he'll be taken back on his mark, and Wise will take the kick now. Well, even further forward again. The umpire's just not happy with the discipline of the Kangaroos. And Wise, who had it at probably half back, is now half forward, 55 metres out from goal, as umbrellas go up around the ground. And the spectators are trying to get some cover here. It is raining late in this reserves game. Wise just taking his time, no hurry, 25-point lead on the left foot, puts it to full forward, looking for a mark. There was Laurie in good position. On ground level is Rhett Masters, and he gets helped over the line. Masters hands it over the boundary throw in. I don't know what the count is, but it's a good cricket score of boundary throw-ins.
A good 100, well played.
20 metres out from the Rams' goal. From the front there was Zachariason, won the tap, but it's now been held up as Masters applies the tackle on Brown. 20 metres out from the Rams' goal. Late in this game, they just want one more for the celebrating sake. In there is Singh for the Roos. Gets a quick kick out, but it is the Rams who will get it. Ivory takes the mark 55 metres out. Casey Radcliffe says, take your time, mate. We've got this one in the bag. So Ivory looked to pass it off to someone, one of his teammates. One more goal will just help the celebration start early. Casey Radcliffe, he eventually, from standing right next to Ivory, just sprints off 10 metres around. So we're nearly tipped over. 24 minutes is just about ticking over now. Casey Radcliffe, another talk that nearly got the distance in the first quarter. This time it's a shorter one, but it's just as effective because up and coming with it is Gordon Laurie, and hasn't he had a fine last term?
Marvellous last term. 3 goals from Laurie, also 3 from Galeno, and those two have changed the course of the game. Galeno in the 3rd term, when Eastfield just had 1 goal. Midway through that 3rd quarter, Galeno stood up, converted 2 goals, and really played some good football. He got them back into the game, and then Laurie stood up and taken the game by the scruff of the neck and played some very good football. So Laurie to line up for goal. We are in a beautiful position right behind him, and all he has to do is just keep it straight, and he should go on. Comes in, slight angle, and he has made a mistake. Just about to say he's made no mistake, just shaving the inside of the post, and it goes through for 1 minus score. So that score on the scoreboard now reads East Burwood 7-12-54 lead East Ringwood 4-4-28. So the Roos to bring it out of defence through Michael James. Ball out far side with Andrew Brown. Goes long to the back flank. Ben Wise almost took a slip catch, fell to Casey Ratcliffe. And there's no point in pointing to me who that one is, Gav. I think we've seen him enough times, Casey Ratcliffe.
Yep, gives it over to Cripps.
And, yes, he's had a great game, hasn't he, Casey Ratcliffe? He's really dominated, been involved in all 4 quarters, and probably the best player on ground.
Yeah, it would be interesting how you value goals in these conditions, because we have had a pretty prominent forward, or do you go for the prominent midfielder? And there's hands in the air for East Burwood. They are premiers for 2005, Division 1 Reserves premiers. Congratulations goes to the East Burwood Rams, coached by Lucas Slater. They win the game. 7 goals, 12-54 East Burwood. Defeated East Ringwood 4-4-28. And James, just go through the goal kickers, mate.
Thanks very much, Gav. Goal kickers for East Burwood, 3 each to Gordon Laurie and Adrian Galino, and 1 to Callum Wrigley. And for East Ringwood, just the 4 goals, 2 to Stuart McDowell coming in the final term. Andrew Eslick 1 and Tim Francis 1 as East Burwood emerge victorious. They are the Division 1 Reserves premiers for season 2005.
It's time now for the grand final medal presentations, and will you please welcome to the dais from the EFL board, Peter Bailey. We start off with number 1, Kate Ratcliffe. Number 3, Gordon Laurie. Number 12, Robert Ward. Number 13, Jason May. Number 24, Scott Zachariason. Number 26, Reece Dahl. Number 27, Wayne Cripps. Number 30, James Ivory. Number 31, Adrian Sabre. Number 33, Martin Fleming. Number 35, Bo Cosson. Number 36, Adrian Galino. Number 40, Bryce Ratcliffe. Number 45, Chris Clough. Number 46, Caleb Wrigley. Number 47, Rhett Masters. Number 49, Christian Zilatonis. Number 50, Tim McCoy. Number 51, Matthew Miglior.